That's the first ordinary session of the Assembly in the 2023 legislative year. This was precisely a 3-week ordinary session with lots of businesses. The session also witnessed the legislative process of critical bills, some of which were already passed by this Assembly, including other important motions and reports. Honorable members, as has been said, the business of the plenary assembly can never be exhausted. We will therefore today start the motion on the adjournment debate to adjourn this ordinary session, signed die. I invite the honorable member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, always as I do when it comes to adjournment debate, the issue of my constituents stands paramount. We still want to re-echo what we've been talking about always, that the road of the Kia West constituents is still very static. The first phase is not completed, that one is standing, and the second phase is going. I don't know what kind of a project is that. The first phase is standing, it's not going, and the second phase has started. 30-kilometer roads. What is covered, Honorable Minister stood here and said at least 80% of the first phase work is completed, but that's not completed. So we are still appealing to Honorable Minister to talk to the contractors to fasten the work of the Kia West constituency, because we are coming to rainy season, and during rainy season, it will be very, very difficult for us to use this road.
Honorable member for Fonyi Bintang.
On that note, the teachers deserve to be paid better. In fact, in the country, it's a shame for you to call yourself a teacher. Teachers don't want to be seen as teachers. And I said it here. I wonder how we want to develop the nation in the absence of education. If we are not giving those that are educating our children enough money or good salaries, how do we want them to perform in class? These are things that are...
Now invite Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
Honorable Speaker, 2016 change was a real change, and it came with a mission to heal the old wounds, to make sure that history is corrected. So nobody will joke with that revolution. It was not an armed revolution, but it was electoral revolution that we went through. We went to the pool and elected a government of our choice. And we went with a hope and aspiration that we want to change this country to be on a right footing. So nobody should play with that, whether you are in opposition, whether you are in government. If you do wrong, we will call it wrong. If you do right, we will celebrate it.
I now invite the honorable member for Sani Mentereng Constituency.
For a layman to understand that this bridge belongs to Gambia alone, when it is entirely the property of Gambia. I believe if the ministry could look into this and then find a better way that the usage of SEFA could be stopped, and then we use Dalasi. If anyone has Dalasi, SEFA, you could change it to Dalasi and then do your payment and then pass easily. I think this will clear all doubts of either the place is Senegalese or it is Gambians.
The honorable member for Sami Constituency.
That the alcalos were receiving $3,000 monthly, but now some alcalos are not receiving. What is the cause? I want the Honorable Minister for Land to tell us this August Assembly why that is happening. How can you start paying salaries for people and you stop it, and others have it? Why?
Union member Fatou K. Jawara.
Work hand in our security forces. Honorable Speaker, the act of certain individuals in the security sector cannot be visited on all the security personnel. We have very professional security men and women who are ready to serve this country. So let's try to work with them hand in glove to see.
I now invite nominated member Honorable Keba Lamfofana.
If you pick a bone where it is not, at the end of the day, you will be what? Questioned. What we've witnessed in this assembly, starting from day before yesterday, till today, cannot be entertained. This is not about us. The dignity of this house must be maintained. A day will come, all of us will go out through these doors, whether we like it or not, but this parliament will remain. This parliament.
On the honorable member for Lower Badibu.
Of course, many a time, people shift the blame to Ukraine-Russian war. Before that, it was COVID. Now that COVID is no more in the lips of the people, Ukraine-Russia war is the only blame in which the problem, in which the people of the Gambia, the problems that we are facing in the Gambia, many a time people see the blame at Ukraine-Russian war. Of course, it might be, of course, a part of the, that might be part of the problem of food shortage in our country. But I have to believe that no, Gambia as a country, other countries are doing it. If we want to know, be food self-sufficient, investment has to be done in agriculture.
I invite the honorable member for Fonyi Kansala.
If ministers are having guts, the presidents are having guts, key stakeholders are having guts, our own people are even afraid to live in their compounds. Where are we headed to? So I think it is the utmost challenge that we are facing as a country. And without which, if we don't empower our men and women in security, we will be, singing the same tunes it will not make up. You go to police stations, no vehicle. Areas in which they will be able to man is a challenge. And I'm also putting this to the defense minister. I want you to put, stand up and visit military barracks. It is very sad when you go and see military barracks, what they eat.
The honorable member for Busumbala.
Bill that has been passed here, torture bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill is going to be very helpful to make so that we protect and promote the rule of law in this country. Honorable Speaker, we have seen in the past administration, most or majority of Gambians were subjected to torture. Evidence were forcefully obtained from them, and even confessions were forcefully obtained from them. And those confessed statements were used against them at the court of law and eventually get convicted. And still, some of those people are living with that pain.
On the honorable member for Tallinn.
But it is unfortunate that when we're doing justice, we are selective. This does not promote democracy, does not promote development. Now, the auditor's report has raised serious concerns with regards to mishaps in financial issues in this government. The least we expect is to ensure that those recommendations and those challenges are addressed for now and for prosperity.
Honorable member for Nyani.
They will come with their double cabins. Just get themselves masked, do their operations, and move. Nothing will happen. Sometimes we will contact the military barrack at Lamin Koto, but all what they will say is that either we don't have people to come or we don't have fuel. We definitely need to strengthen our security, especially in that area. Our lives are at risk because we are not far from the border. We just have 2 kilometers, and there are also certain villages that you know that they're bordered with Senegal. There, if you are not used to that place, you cannot even know here whether Senegal stops here or Gambia stops here. We are definitely appealing for something positive to be done in that particular area.
Honorable Member for Fonyi Bondali.
Honorable Speaker, on the road accident, the rate of the accident in this country is alarming. And Honorable Speaker, sadly, that can be avoidable. If you look on our roads, the absence of the signs like the zebra crossing, the speed limit, and then the markings on the lanes are absent. Honorable Speakers, those who normally ply the road, the Trans-Gambia, will experience this, especially driving during or at night. The marks are eroded, you cannot see. So this sometimes brings the collision of the vehicles because of sometimes, there are people whom, their visions are not that much good, especially driving at night.
Honorable Member for Fonyi Berefet.
Honorable Speaker, most of the people working under the government send their children abroad. Our sons, our daughters have been brought back to the Gambia. Some of them came with madness. Our parents cannot take it anymore. It is too much. If the government are denying of stealing the taxpayers' money, what about the oil revenue? The country is sinking down every day. They all squander into the wealth we are all entitled to and ship their children to abroad while bringing our own sons and daughters back to the country. Those who hustle to go outside the Gambia without demanding anything, I think the government should step in and talk about to the West people. They have been looting Africa for 400 years. Why are they denying our citizens going to their country? This is something that is really bad. We cannot take it. Someone who hustles to go outside the Gambia cannot be returned back to the Gambia without giving any job. They are loitering around the Gambia. How can you control the criminals when people are brought back to the Gambia without giving any important job to take care of, without giving anything that they will use to feed their family?
Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Give clarity on that. How far have they gone in terms of supporting those importers and what is really happening? Because we have seen that price, as far as essential food item is concerned in this country, the price is increasing by the day, which is something that is unacceptable. So in that regards, I want clarity on that on behalf of my people so that they will know the main reason why the prices of essential food items is going up every day.
Honorable Member for Banjul Central.
Urban landscape in Banjul. Everyone knows that Banjul is an island city, right? And some of these youth organizations and these CSOs have been doing their best in terms of putting in projects for, I would say, coastal adaptation mechanisms to ease at least the idea of I would say, flood coming up or something, because we are just a meter above sea level, and it's quite alarming. So you've been seeing some trees have been planted along the sea area, along the beach areas and stuff. These are all coastal adaptation mechanisms to decrease the corrosive things that are coming up.
Member for Woolly East.
I just want to remind the Assembly that there was a salary increment here, but it looks like certain sectors like Gibos and the Edward Francis Small Hospital were sidelined. They did not benefit from that salary increment. Maybe the minister can shed light on that to ensure that it is redressed. Honorable
Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Security implications. Today is President Barrow's government. Tomorrow it might be another government. If this security, these foreign securities are so exposed to all of our security issues, the next government to come will have to overhaul our entire security apparatus. Otherwise, signals will still go back to those countries, and that's going to be unfortunate. We have restored democracy. Their purpose is to come to the Gambia and restore democracy. As I said before, I have never been more hopeful about the democratic credentials of this country than I am today. So it's high time that they have to go back to their country. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member for Old Joshua.
Speaker, coming to the security forces, we have passed a lot of bill. Yes, protecting us as Gambians, protecting us as civilians, especially the anti-torture bill. But what are we preparing for those security forces that are dealing with us every day? What is their security? Every day they are being attacked. Every day they are insulted. Nobody respects them anymore because they are not secure. They need a security to be also that can guide them. Yes, they know their limits. But currently, it's very hard to call a police officer to come and even to arrest an individual in your own compound.
Honorable Member for Combo South.
Take this opportunity to, from the bottom of my heart, to thank the good work of the support staff of the National Assembly. When we were recruiting these people in 2016, 2017 to 2021, we said we want to have people of excellency to be here to raise the bar of this National Assembly. And we can proudly say that we have done that.
Member for Bakau.
Honorable Speaker, after expressing my anger, I would like to take my seat. But before taking my seat, Honorable Speaker, since the Honorable Minister for Energy is in attendance, I'll put it to you that these days I'm experiencing water problems. It takes me days before my people have water, and I have the same complaint with some of my electorates. So since you are here, please take note and see how best you can help.
I now call upon the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Honorable Speaker, before I will talk issue that is affecting my constituency, I think, is the Minister of Transport around? I believe he should be around, because what has happened day before yesterday in our constituency, that is Upper Salum and then Nyamina Dankunku, the ferry crossing there, it was definitely terrifying. From almost in the morning to breaking the fast around 7 o'clock. The ferry crossing between the Nyamina Dankunku and Upper Ama Lower Salum constituency was carried because of the engine was not functional. The ferry have no faith, but only to follow the direction of the water. So it was took up to those who were there from the crossing point of in Kawu up to almost beyond Balanga. Then it went to a level, then it was stuck before, as it was moving, it come and then find a very big rock and then stuck there. That rock would have even broke the ferry, a disaster could have happened.
Honorable nominated member, Honorable Maimuna Sise.
My last point will be, there is a bureau exchange call here, wave bureaus. I think central bank need to look into their laws. These wave bureaus, you can receive money. If you have a financial transfer, you can receive it. But when you want to send some money out of the country or even within the country, it's not acceptable. But you can always receive, they are in the receiving end, but they are not in the sending end. So I think the central bank need to look into that to make sure that Gambians are protected. Some of these things are not acceptable, not in local law or much more the international law. Honorable Speaker, in the last part of it, I would like to encourage my fellow members here. These chambers here, we need to at least try to put decorum and self-disciplinary to ourselves. We are representing the people of this country. And as my honorable members just said, we've been called honorable because we represent people. We can have here and there arguments, but let's give the authorities to authorities. No matter what, we might have our difference, but the respect can also prevail.
The honorable member for Upper Salum.
In the African Economic Community relating to free movement of persons, rights of residence, and rights of establishment. This protocol was signed by the Gambia in 2018, but is yet to be ratified. 32 African countries actually they have signed, but only 4 has ratified. And Gambia is since 2018 we have not ratified. Also, another protocol also dealing with cybersecurity and personal data protection. This was signed last December. It's also yet to be ratified. And if you can assist us by our next session to bring those two for ratification, we'll be very grateful. Now to the Minister of Interior, Honorable Speaker. I have one, okay. Now the issue of driver license. You know, I cannot understand. Why do we have to renew our driver license every year? I cannot understand. It's the same person. It's the same person that actually goes to renew every year. You here in Gambia, you will see you carry driver license, you will carry ID card, you will carry insurance card, and you will carry so many cards, and you are the same person, same details, same everything. Why can't we make it easier for people to renew their driver every 5 years, or in fact every 10 years? If you are charging $500 now, why can't you charge $750 or $1,000 depending on exactly the cost of the items? People will pay. But every year people have to queue to get their driver license. And he said you have to test. There's so much burden on the ministry and so much burden on the people that actually apply for the driver license.
Call on the mover of the motion, the Honorable Minority Leader and the member for Brikama North.
Both sides have done extremely well. I think the second or the third day, there were disappointments as far as our attendance is concerned. Ever since the speaker made that pronouncement expressing his concern and called for the need to change towards attendance, we have drastically improved. Up to the end, today, the adjournment debate, the attendance stands to be very high. I must commend you and thank you for that. Having got the ministers, and they adequately responded to concerns raised by members affecting the constituents, actually have made my work very easy, or they have done my work for me. On that, I would beg your pardon if you can permit me not to go over the issues that you have raised, which already the ministers have responded to. 43 of you participated. At least each of you raised minimum of 3 issues. If I want to be responding to all those issues, we'll spend the night here. But since, as I said earlier on, the ministers have responded to the salient general issues, whether they are here or not, wherever those who are not here, they must have heard the concerns of our constituents. And if they do, we are appealing to the ministers to take note of these concerns that were expressed. National Assembly, what makes our work important is our oral questions and the adjournment debate. It is this avenue where we express the concern of our people.
able office and indeed the Assembly Service staff for living up to expectations. I listened to the Honorable Member for Combo South, was it, when he talked about the recruitment 2017 and the caliber of staff we have. We are proud of you, and we thank you. Honorable members, it's late. Before I put the question, I wish you all happy and rewarding Ramadan. And at the end, happy and joyous Eid al-Fitr in advance. Honorable members, I now put the question. Be resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned, sign die.